He said he would not meet thee as a man. So if he's not going to meet Esau as a man, how else is he going to meet him? He's going to meet him as an angelic power. And as he's doing so, he's going to consume all of the angels. And what I mean by the angels, I'm talking about Esau's aircraft vehicles, like the jets and all of that. They're going to fall right down to the earth. The people that's flying those jets are going to dissolve into dust. As the scripture says, blood pillars of smoke. Let's move on. It says, this is coming from the book of Isaiah 63. I want to start from the verse first. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? Is that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength? I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Yahawashi is coming back to do two things. He's coming back to take down this empire, to take down this world, and also to save the elect. So this is why I said in the beginning of the video, you know, it's a beautiful thing to see the chariots in the sky. You know, it's a beautiful thing to see the signs and wonders as to what's going down here on this earth. But it's a bad thing upon those that run the society, because that simply means to them that the Lord is going to take them out of power. And not only will they be taken out of power, but violently shall they be taken out of power. All right, severely, to the point where they're not going to be able to come back into power anymore, because the Lord is going to destroy them from the root, as the scripture says in the book of, I believe it's Malachi 4. I think I'm wrong on that. So this is Malachi 4 verse 1. So I'm correct. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So this society is going to be burnt so much to the point where this empire is going to be no more. Because when you read Malachi, the first chapter, it says that Esau came back to rebuild back the desolate places. What does that mean? Meaning they were able to come back and rebuild themselves, such as ancient Rome. Ancient Rome fell, and Jake took over for a period of 1,000 years, and then that same empire came back all over again, beginning with the Renaissance era. So Rome was taken down, as the scripture says in Revelations, the 20th chapter, it says its deadly wound was healed. In other words, referring to that red dragon, such as the beast, which represents the Roman Empire, right? And his deadly wounds were healed, and now it was loose a little season, and we're within that little season of this Roman Empire ruling over us, the Israelites. So when the Messiah makes a second return, and also those nuclear missiles hit ground zero on these places, and those laser beams, this society is going to be thoroughly destroyed to the point where Esau will not come back into power no more. So let me read this one more time. Malachi 4 verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all of the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, and that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Because once you destroy a root of a plant, that plant is no more. It's done. It's finished. Okay? And this society is going to be destroyed from up, so all the way thoroughly down, until it's no more. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to read something that I've already known, I've already read about before. And but you know, nowadays you have these article companies that keep updating this old information so that people can remember, you know, what occurred in the past concerning topics, you know, of all sorts. And being that I'm speaking on the UFOs, or the UPAs, that's the new term that they're calling it now, Esau, which we in the Great Millstone, and those that believe in Yahawashi, we call them the chariots of the Most High. All right. So yeah, let's read this. It says, in the early 1950s, DC was obsessed with UFOs. Here's why. It says, on Saturday, July the 19th, 1952, the crew at Washington National Airport saw something unusual. According to the next day national headlines, sources swarm over Capitol. Read the front page of the Cedar Rapids Gazette. That headline, amongst many others that day, expressed an anxious curiosity as to why a group of unidentified flying objects spent their Saturday night hovering over D.C. just 5 years after the now legendary incident in Roswell, New Mexico. While other sightings may have eyewitnesses' testimonies or indirect evidence of the objects moving through our world, these UFOs spotted at National Airport were undeniably present on a radar. It's the reaction to the blimps on the radar screen that really sets DC alleged alien incidents apart, saying Dr. Kevin Randall, a prominent UFOologist and author of Invasion Washington, UFOs over the Capitol. At one point, Randall says, fighting planes tried to head out to the UFOs locations. And I want to say this as well, and this is why these Hollywood movie directors have made, films about UFOs. And I wonder why they've been making these films about UFOs, because what they've been wanting to do to the people is give them an idea of something of that sort happening in the near distant future. It's called predictive programming. All right. And when you look up the term programming, the word programming means to write before. The word pro means before, and the word gram from the word grammar, which means to write. All right. Predict simply means to, and the word predict simply means to be able to see things that are to happen in the near distant future. So let's say if an incident such as what they've saw, whether it was they went to the movies or whether they went home and was watching Netflix, or however they watched the film, they get a glimpse of maybe that scenario could actually take place. All right, and there's things that there's films that we've watched throughout the years of technology that they've put in the films, and we're living in a time where that technology exists. Okay, so again, this is what they've been doing. They've been using a technique called predictive programming. All right, to give people the idea that this could somewhat happen in the future. And another reason as to why they've made these films about UFOs and things of that sort is simply because they read the scriptures and they also know how the Messiah is coming back, especially the elites. They know how the Messiah is coming back, and this is why the Pentagon, they have to be on high alert of what they call nowadays of the UPAs, which stands for unidentified aerial phenomenons, UAPs. So now what I want to do, I want to move forward, and I'm going to get back to the scriptures. And what I'll do is I'll post all of these articles on the description box, and you brothers can check this out for yourselves. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read Revelations chapter 12, verse 7, concerning the war of heaven. Revelations 12, verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which is this man, the so-called white man, okay? Which he is known as the Edomite, or they are known as the biblical Edomites, which deceived the whole world, and he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him, meaning their jet fighter planes, because the powers that be of the so-called white people, which are the Edomites, because they have a power structure and they're ruling the earth today. They're going to fight against the Lord. And as we already know, as prophecy has it, they're going to lose this war miserably. You know, we can read about this in 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. So there will be a war in heaven, and it's going to be a war between the nations, mainly the Edomites, and the Lord and his angels. And even if, even if this wasn't even written, I mean, it's just common sense that Esau can't fight these unidentifiable flying objects, that's what they call it, and also identifiable aerial phenomenons. They can't fight these things because they don't have the same capability or technology as these things. And plus, these things, as we call the chariots, are coming from a totally different realm. When you look at the realm that we're in right now, this is the lowest realm above all of the other realms. So those things are coming from a higher realm, a higher dimension. So how can the resources of this dimension or the weapons of this dimension destroy the weapons that be of a higher dimension? It can't be possible, man. So Esau is ordained and was set up to rule the earth, and then later on lose miserably, lose his kingdom. As it says in the book of Daniel's, the 7th chapter, it says that the saints shall take the kingdom. So we're not going to ask the powers that be to actually go into slavery and give us our just due and have us rule over them, beginning with Yahawashi, because Yahawashi is going to take the kingdom. Yahawashi is not going to come down here on earth. This is what I should have said. Yahawashi is not going to come down here on the earth and beg Esau and ask him to get his kingdom. No, he's going to take his kingdom, and he's going to establish his kingdom on the face of the earth. That's what the Lord is going to do. All right? It says that the saints shall take the kingdom, and they shall possess it forever and ever. So Yahawashi is going to come back and yank Esau's power structure from off him. And that's all I have to say on this lesson here. You know what? Before I go, I want to read one last scripture, which is in the Apocrypha. Just let me for 1 minute. Yeah, so this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 4. We get to the point. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So what this is saying is Yahawashi controls everything that goes down on this earth. All right, and they even control who comes into power and who comes out of power, and who goes into slavery, who prospers and who doesn't prosper. Yeah, so that's it on that, brothers. With that, I'm going to close this video out. Lord willing, you were edified, and this builded you up, which is what the word edification means anyway. So, yeah, with that, I'm going to close this one out, and I say, Shalom.